Hello, and welcome to A Reader's Paradise. I'm your host, Earl Sewell. This is a great place to hang out if you love hearing literature performed for you, as well as hearing author interviews. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 8 of A Reader's Paradise. Well, Lenny Gray has finally been released. It's available in two formats. It's available as a digital ebook via Amazon.com. It is also available as an audiobook through Audible.com. So if you're a person who likes to read on your electronic device, just hop on over to Amazon.com and type in Lenny Gray by Earl Sewell, and you will find it there. You can also, via Amazon, download it via Audible, and you can listen to me perform the book via Audible.com. So far, the book has been getting great reviews. It's been out about 7 days. And here's just one of the reviews I want to read to you from an Amazon purchaser. Here's what it says. And this person here downloaded the audiobook version, I guess, via Amazon. And again, here's what they say. I really enjoyed listening to the author as he changed with each character. I was able to close my eyes and know who was talking. Curly was a bit much at times as the story unfolded, but I could understand why. My heart went out to Tangy. That was one of the worst parts for me. Also, Lenny had some bumps in the road. I recommend the Audible version for anyone, especially those who like page turners. So that's just one of the 5-star reviews that I got. And I got so far in 7 days, I've got 5 reviews, and all of them have been 5 stars. So again, go ahead and hop on over to Amazon or Audible and check out Lenny Gray. Now, with that being said, today's reading is obviously going to be another excerpt from Lenny Gray, but however, I want you to stick around until the end of the podcast, and I will tell you how you can get a free downloaded copy of the book Lenny Gray. For those of you who have been listening to excerpts on and off for the past couple of weeks, this is probably an exciting time for you, where you can, again, get a free copy, a free promotional copy of Lenny Gray. So stick around until the end, and I will show you how that's done. All right. Now, with that being said, we're going to take in an excerpt from the book Lenny Gray and a little bit of setup here. So the story is a work of historical fiction, and it takes place between the years 1918 and 1951, and it takes place in the American South. And it's seen through the perspective and through the experience of an African-American family over the span of 30 years, or about 33 years. So in this next scene, we're going to be in the 1940s, and one of the characters in the book has been shipped off to the Second World War, and there is a letter that is being read, and we get to find out what happens to this character or what's happening in this character's life as they've been shipped off to war. So, with that said, let's take a deep breath. Let's get into our story. Minnie, Bud, Roosevelt, Martha, Leuna, Christine, and Lenny Gray II joined and listened to Mary read. October 3rd, 1943. Dear Ma and Pa, Please don't throw away the envelope my letter come in. You can use the address on the front to send me mail. You can have Mary write it and mail it for you. I'm sorry that it's taken me so long to write. Working on a farm, I never had much use for writing and reading, but now I see how important it is because everyone around here seems to know how to read and write, and they love getting letters from their folks back home. When I got here, they asked me if I could read. When I told them that I didn't really know how to read so good, they marked it in my file. It was very hard for me to get on the back of that army truck that came to pick me up over the summer. I wanted to jump off and run, but I didn't know where I would run to. When I arrived at Camp Shelby, there were all types of people coming in by the truckloads from all over the country. Black people, white people, Mexican people, even some American-born Japanese people. All the units are segregated so there won't be no trouble among us. The white soldier got the best of everything, and that's got all the other men pretty mad. I know you're wondering, how in the world am I writing all of this? Well, I met this real nice smart guy named Donovan from Chicago. He graduated from high school and can read and write like an author. Donovan is a little taller than I am and is 20 years old and has a real pretty girl back at home waiting on him. He showed me a picture of her and she looks like an actress named Lena Horne. One of the other guys showed me a picture of Lena that he keeps in the barracks. I asked Donovan if his girlfriend had a sister, and he said yeah, but she's too young. Anyway, Donovan is kind and said he would write down everything I wanted to say. Donovan said that he wanted to join the army so that he could fight for his country. He said that once we win the war, when we come back home, white folks will treat us like full-class citizens. He said that we just got to prove ourselves is all, just like I heard on the radio. I asked him what it was like living in a big city, and he told me all kinds of wonderful things about Chicago. He says there are plenty of jobs and folks doing real good for themselves. He said there's certain parts of Chicago that belong to white folks, and the rest of the cities where all the black folks live. He said as long as you keep to yourself and stay in the colored side of town, you won't have any problems. He said there are plenty of entertainment in Chicago, places where folks can go dancing and stuff like that. I get excited just listening to him talk about it because we ain't got no places like the ones he talks about down in Tallahatchie County. When I first got here, a white lady who was taking down names to me said, "You will answer me with a yes, sir, or no, sir. You will not move unless you're told to. Do you understand me, boy?" I knew right off that I wasn't going to like her. I wasn't the only one who felt the same way. A lot of the guys said that they didn't want to be here and wondered how their lives had taken a turn for the worst. A lot of the colored guys can't read or write, especially the ones that come from the field like me. Most of us only knew that there was a war going on and little else. Donovan, as best as he could, tried to inform us what was going on and why we should want to fight. He talked about some guy named A. Philip Randolph and something called civil rights. Some of the stuff Donovan talks about sound crazy to me. He talked about stuff like ending segregation. I had to ask him what that meant. Once he told me what it was, I realized he was talking about Jim Crow. "Daddy," I told him what you said about it. I told him that you said that no one could fight Jim Crow 'cause he wasn't a real person. Donovan said that if we stuck together, we could beat Jim Crow and do a whole lot more. All us country boys just laughed at him and pointed out that we were in the segregated army. Some of the guys said that if he could find Jim Crow and bring him back, we'd all kill him and burn his body. I done seen a few fights break out between black and white soldiers. One fight was really bad. A colored fella from New York was showing some of the guys his white girlfriend. One of the white soldiers found that to be offensive and snatched a photo and ripped it up. That's what started the brawl. It's pretty bad down here trying to get along with the white fellas. These white boys don't want us here, and every chance they get, they let us know. In spite of how much they hate us, a lot of us, including me, have changed our attitudes since going through training. We want to fight now, mostly because we're so angry about the way we treated. Most of us figure that if we fight, we'll at least get to prove that we ain't as dumb as they think we are. We want to be treated like we're worth something. I was just told that my unit is going to be sent over to France. By the time you get this letter, I'll probably be there. Make sure you write me. Willie. After hearing that, I know there are some people out there who want to know what happens next. I know there are listeners out there who enjoy audiobooks and who would like to listen to the story from start to finish. And so with that being said, I am going to give out a free promotional copy of the book Lenny Gray in audio format only for to be downloaded from audible.com. Now, here's how it goes. There will be one winner. There will be one winner of this free promotional copy. So it's on a first come, first served basis. So the first person I get a message from about it will be the person who wins. Now, for the person who wins this downloadable copy, I only ask one thing, and that is that you leave a review for me on Amazon.com or Audible.com about the book. So, how do you win? What do you have to do? And where do you have to go to click to get that free download copy of Audible with that promotional code? Here is what you do. You send me an email, and in the subject header, put A Reader's Paradise. And you send an email to me at Earl, EARL, SEWELL, voiceover, VOICEOVER at yahoo.com. Once again, that's Earl Sewell voiceover at yahoo.com. And the first person to send me an email with A Reader's Paradise in the subject headline will win a copy of Lenny Gray. Until next time, happy reading.